If you're feeling overwhelmed or possibly burned out from working, then this video might be helpful to you. I just went through this really weird patch for about a month or so, whereby the things that used to be effortless to me felt like I needed to take an insane amount of willpower to do it. And even though I had the discipline to still do the work, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it, um, it still felt really, really painful. And I was trying to figure out why that was the case. And I was also trying to figure out why I wasn't enjoying things as much as I used to. So I was looking around, and I spoke to a very close friend of mine who built his own who built a SaaS company in the past, very successfully, and he said that for him it was basically burnout, and he needed to go and disappear for a little while. Um, and that helped him basically sort of center himself and take a bit of a break from things. But the question that kept nagging in my head is that, well, how do other people sort of get beyond that, right? How do other people sort of get past that as well? And there was actually two things that I figured could be really, really helpful to share that helped me tremendously. Because when I was trying to diagnose whether or not this was burnout, I kind of reverted back to its definition. And most people think being burned out is that you're just tired or you're just overworked, right? But I don't think that's actually the case. I think that Sam Altman hit the nail on the head actually with the definition from one of his old YC interviews, and that was that burnout is when you are making making a ton of effort towards something and not making any progress. So and you do that for a long period of time. So the three variables in that is one, effort, then number two is progress, and then number three is time. Like, are you making enough progress in a short enough period of time for the effort that you are expending effectively? So it wasn't that for me, at least anyway, right? If that is the case for you, then you might be burned out, right? If you're not making progress towards the things that you want to be achieving. But for me, it wasn't that case because yes, there was effort expended. Yes, there was, but the time gap was okay. It was fine, um, and progress was okay as well. Like it wasn't like zero progress or anything like that. So it wasn't burnout, and I figured, okay, maybe do I need to take a few days away, right? And away from just away and just not do anything. And when I analyzed it more, I was like, okay, well, why do people generally need a break from these sorts of things, right? It's normally just to kind of shut your brain off and not have to actually think about the things you need to think about, right? But I figured that's not actually going to be as helpful. So I did an analysis on what had changed materially between back when I was feeling more energized and things did feel more effortless versus to the period where things didn't feel as easy and things felt more effortful. And that was a couple of variables. The first thing that changed was that I noticed that my schedule was being filled up with things that I didn't want to do. I had to deal with a lot more things that were very admin very boring, and not many of the things I didn't get to do as many things that I used to find that I just enjoyed doing. And the other part of that is that even if I did manage to sneak in some of the things that I did enjoy, it would still feel like effort needed, right? It wouldn't feel as if it was something that was effortless. It was like, oh, great, something else to do. And I was figuring out, okay, but if it was a small thing that I enjoyed that was relatively easy, then I could just do it really easily. It was effortless. It was still effortless. So that effortless piece was still there. So I was trying to figure out why is that the case. And after spending the time doing research on this, I was watching a video from Dr. K, and he basically said that if you feel overwhelmed, it's not because you've got too many things to do. It's because you've got too many things that you don't want to do. Right? So the ratio of things that you want to do versus things you don't want to do is massively skewed. So the way I sort of got past that is by not trying to get rid of things off my plate, but adding more things to my plate but I just enjoyed doing, right? And things that I could kind of just push aside, I would push aside things that I could like not do, I wouldn't do. or I'd just pass it on to someone else to do. So that was the first thing that helped, was just first that if you are feeling overwhelmed, it might be just because of the fact that you might not be doing as many things that you want to do compared to how many other things that you don't want to do. So if you can try to add more things to your plate whereby the ratio is sort of more evenly balanced, you will actually feel a lot less overwhelmed. And even the things that are a bit boring, you're able to sort of get them done. I mean, I'm still able to get things done. It wasn't that I wasn't, but it just took a lot more effort. But hopefully this sort of lowers the amount of willpower you need to just sort of kind of power through. The second thing that really, really helped was a reframing, a mental reframing. So I'd been speaking to friends and they'd been telling me that, hey, you might just be burned out, right? And for a while, I kind of said, maybe I'm just burned out. I'm just really, really burned out. I'm kind of tired of this, man. This is like so tiring. I just need like a week to just sleep or something. And this was a reframing that really, really helped get past this, like massively, like almost instantaneously. The story I'd been telling myself was that I'd been burned out or I'm overworked or I'm doing overwhelmed with all the things I don't want to do. But the reframing that helped me was changing that from saying, I'm burned out, to this is the price for the next level of growth you want to unlock. That was it. So those are the two things that really, really helped me. I don't know if that's going to help you or not. If it does help you, then great. I'm really happy that it has, because I couldn't find anyone that I could relate to where you were still doing things, you were still moving forward, but you're feeling more tired. And I just couldn't make sense of it at all. There was no content out that I could find that had exactly what I was looking for, where you're actually moving forward, but you're feeling more tired. Like, how does that work? And these were the two things that really helped me get beyond that. It's just, and by the way, that mental reframing, it's not something that I kind of came up with, by the way. Like, I found this from an Alex Hormozy video. Um, so it just happened to be about burnout. And I was like, oh, that's a really, really strong reframing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So the two things are, if you are feeling overwhelmed, one, take inventory of the things that you're doing and see if you're actually doing the things that you want to do, or if there's enough things that you actually do want to do in your schedule. And if there is, great. If there isn't, that might be causing you overwhelm. Number two is, if you are feeling exhausted or just things feeling very, very knackering in general, one, obviously take inventory of your sleep, right? Of course, right? Take care of like the core things, like, are you sleeping well? Are you eating enough food? Are you drinking enough water? You're exercising? Like, take inventory of those things. But if none of that works and it is a mental reshift, perhaps, just perhaps, you might just be about to break through and hit a new level of growth. I hope that helps you. And if it did, leave a like down below, and I will see you in the next one.